Stu's in a mood today, so drag the show down yet again. He's in a mood. And he's not in the same mood I'm in. In fact, his mood is the exact opposite of my mood. And, well, America doesn't appreciate it, Stu. Doesn't. It's Friday.
I'm very happy. I'm glad. I think their country's going in a good direction. I can't see any problems.
Right.
So I'm in a good mood.
It's Friday. We're supposed to do what every good American does on Friday, and that is screw off. Okay?
There you go.
And then Monday, we also have to screw off a little bit. And not really just screw off. Yeah, but recover from the weekend so you don't really put in the full effort. All we need is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3 shows a week that are just solid. The rest of them... And
Wednesday's sort of hump day. You can't really be expected to do good work on a Wednesday.
Right.
That's crazy.
And you're usually planning fun on Thursday. So really, a Tuesday is a good... You're going to get a good show for at least once a week. You'll get a good show from us. And today is not that day. But let me tell you that we have the Montana Attorney General on with us. Is Austin Knudsen. I think it's... Now, I should have asked. I can't remember. Do you pronounce the K or not? Austin, are you there?
Knudsen, yes.
It is Knudsen. Okay, I thought it was. So, Austin, you are going to talk to us about Bidenbucks, but I asked Stu, who's really up on things, but he's in a mood, look out. And I asked him, what are Bidenbucks? And he said, that could apply to a myriad of programs they're doing. This one specifically goes to the executive order on getting people out to vote. Can you explain what Bidenbucks are?
Yeah, I can, Glenn, and thanks for having me on, and a pleasure to contribute to your screw-off show.
Okay, good. Right. So don't worry about the facts. You can kind of get a little loose with them today.
Yeah, good. It's Friday. So we picked the name Bidenbucks because this is like Zuckerbucks. What you have here is the Biden administration wanting to get involved in what sounds kind of innocuous, right? They want to get out the vote. We want to make it easier for folks to vote. So what this executive order back in 21 did is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris directed the administration and all their executive agencies to, every time there was a federal touch on a citizen, to provide them voter registration information and ways to get registered to vote and information about voting. And no directive, really, if this was between just federal elections or state elections or local elections, and some really egregious stuff here. But here's what this comes down to, guys, and you guys know this. That's not a constitutional power given to the federal government. States regulate their own elections, period. That's been longstanding federal law. That's been longstanding constitutional jurisprudence. This is a job that your local election offices, and more importantly, your state Secretary of State's office handles. This is a power grab. This is pure partisan politics, and it's bad news.
So what are you doing in Montana to stop this, and what should we be doing?
Well, I got with 8 of my Republican Attorney General colleagues, and we've sued. It took us a little while to get all the information and to do the homework on this one. But this was egregious enough that we decided the only thing we could do is sue in federal court. Oftentimes, that's the only arrow in our quiver, Glenn. But we've sued in federal court in Kansas. We've asked the federal district judge to block this executive order, to enjoin it, and ultimately to throw it out.
So did you get a chance to actually read? Did you get a chance to actually read the executive order? Because Congress has been asking for this executive order from almost the day that it was issued, which was the first week in office, and they won't ever share it with anybody. Did you see it?
We've seen portions of it, but what we have seen is some of the federal agencies' own implementation policies for this executive order. Because you're right. I mean, this goes back all the way back to House Resolution 1. The federal Congress has not ever done this. I mean, this is a liberal Democrat panacea. They have wanted this so bad for so long. but specifically since Donald Trump got elected. The idea here with Democrats in D.C. was, well, we'll just take over national elections. It's never been done. People might not know that, but that's a state function. So some really disturbing stuff we've seen in the implementation. Probably the scariest one, the Department of Justice, the federal Department of Justice, is registering felons to vote.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the problem with that, Glenn, is that's illegal in Montana. We do not allow felons to vote in Montana. So we've already got a conflict here between this executive order on the federal level and our state law. So I mean, we really didn't have a choice here.
So, Austin, tell me how this is going to work out, because they've stonewalled for so long and we couldn't find any information on what they were doing. I mean, I've been on this since the first week of the Biden administration. And nobody could get any information. Now, here we are in August. We're, 12 weeks away. By the time you get into federal court, September maybe? What can be done?
Well, we're hoping to get a rapid injunction here. That's the hope, is that we get this in front of a federal judge and we can get a restraining order and an injunction quickly here before too much damage is done. That's what we're after here. So that's why we've moved as fast as we have. Hopefully fast enough, but that's what we're asking this federal judge for.
Boy, Austin, I got to tell you, it is really hard to believe in our system of voting. It is really hard because it seems to me that everything that can be done if you were designing a program to convince people that your vote didn't matter, I think you'd pretty much do everything that they have done in the last 8 years. We talked about corruption. We were penalized by social media because we 6 months ago talked about, hey, there are back doors in these voting machines. And we were penalized and said it was false news, fake news, misinformation, yada, yada. So they suppressed all of that. And then the group that always does these, every year they do what do you call it, when they get all the hackers into one place and they try to hack into the voting machines. And they said it's easy and it's happening, and reported the same thing we reported. But now, conveniently, it's too late to do anything. I'm very concerned about the vote.
Yeah. The good news about it, Glenn, for me, is people are paying attention. I mean, and people are really concerned about this. I can't go anywhere and do any kind of a talk, an event, a speech, a rally. It doesn't matter. This is what people are talking about just everywhere I go. People are paying attention. The word is out. There's a lot of concern out there with the American people over their vote, over the security of the election. And I think that's what is bringing all this attention to it. Now, we have to be diligent. I mean, we have to keep up the fight. We can't just roll over here. I can't just tell people, well, just trust us. It's all going to be fine. That's my job. I mean, we have to make sure that Montanans' rights are not being violated here. So, I mean, that's what's led us to do this stuff. And the great thing is it's not just me. You've got a lot of other really great Republican state attorneys general who are also fighting this fight.
On another unrelated topic, can you do anything to arrest Kevin Costner for not finishing Yellowstone?
Well, if I'm being real, if I'm being real honest, I mean, Montana's kind of tired of that. We're a little tired of that show. Our legislature let the movie tax. Well, our legislature let the movie tax credit expire. That's why this last season's not even going to be filmed here. So, and I don't know. It sounds like Mr. Costner had some of his own personal stuff going on.
Yeah, I know. But look into the arresting him thing. Just look into that. I'm just saying. I want the ending.
I'll see if I can compel here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Really, you were sick of that? Because I think that made. Well, I mean, wait a minute. They went over state lines. The train station was over state lines. So yes, they might have been killing people in Montana, but they buried them someplace else. But I think that just made the state look beautiful. And unfortunately, if I were a Montanan, I would be saying, yeah, it looks a little too beautiful. Now we're going to get all these. Now it's going to turn into Jackson Hole.
It's already happened to Bozeman. I don't recognize Bozeman. I went to college there. I lived there when I was a kid. That town is completely Jackson Hole.
Jeez, I hate that. All right, thank you so much, Austin. I appreciate it. That's the Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen.